Hi, welcome to Cooking with Andrea. Thanks for coming in and cooking with me. Today we're going to be making a delicious beef meatball sub. So we're going to get started. Welcome back. Well, we're getting started here. I have almost 2 pounds of hamburger. It's a 73, just regular ground beef. It's kind of a little bit on the fattier side, but because I'm making meatballs today, I'm not real concerned. Like I say, when I make burgers and things like that, I'm more concerned with the fat quantity of the meat. But right now, food is very expensive, so you got to pick and choose what you really want to spend your time and effort and money on. So today we're going to do a nice inexpensive dish. I'm going to go ahead and start with almost 2 pounds of hamburger. It's just a teeny bit under. I'm going to do 2 eggs, and we're going to get those in there. And with these beautiful beef meatballs, which I'm really excited to do. They're really a delicious meal. I'm going to take 2 teaspoons of, I'm going to do lemon pepper, my favorite, obviously. I had to pause in saying it because my family is always like, lemon pepper? So I had to pause here. 2 teaspoons of parsley, 2 teaspoons of, we're going to do onion powder. And we're going to do 2 teaspoons of garlic powder and 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning. So what we're going to do is just evenly just put it all in here. We're going to do a nice good mixture. In a minute we're going to get our hands all dirty, so that's going to be nice. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take a half a cup of breadcrumbs, and I'm just going to toss it all in here nice and even. And then I'm going to take my favorite Parmesan cheese, 1/4 cup. And Parmesan cheese, I actually use a lot of it. I was telling my husband, good Lord, I think I'm going to have to go up to the next largest container because I do use a lot of it in my, mixes for breading and things like that, in my meatloaves, in my, my meatballs. I just use a ton of it. So what I'm going to do is put this to the side here, and then I want to let you see, these are all the seasonings: the onion, the breadcrumbs, lemon pepper, and I've got Italian, parsley, and onion. Like I said, it's kind of inexpensive because I'm using my containers, which is nice. I have all dry ingredients. Sometimes drier ingredients are cheaper because you can get more of it, and then you don't have to work as hard cutting everything up. So I'm going to go ahead and put this to the side. I have my pan on. Oops, don't drop your egg shells on the floor. So I also wanted to let you see it's just like that. Now we're going to get to mixing. Both hands in. Going to get everything mixed because we don't want to over mix our meatballs, because when meatballs are over mixed, it's kind of like it's like meatloaf. You shouldn't really over mix your meatballs or your meatloaf. Mix them, the texture comes out mushy, not a good thing. You just want to mix it enough to get all the herbs and the eggs, because the egg is what's going to bind it with the breadcrumbs. Oh, and it's going to be a good mixture. We have enough seasonings in there where it's going to taste delicious, but not over seasoned, because the seasonings are not the star. The actually sauce, the bun, and the the meatball are all going to be the star. I happen to love meatloaf, so everything I do is meatloaf, meatloaf. I'm going to pull my pan closer to me. I have my pan on, and everything is mixed in and looks nice. I'm just going to let you see how everything is incorporated. Didn't take long to mix it. It's going to be delicious. So what I'm going to do is take nice size meatballs. I'm going to just drop them in. I'm going to actually turn my pan up a little bit higher. I didn't get the sizzle that I wanted, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it up just a little bit higher. I want to just show you nice round balls, because you can do 2 things. You can either flatten it like that, or you can just cut them after you make them. A lot of times I cut my meatballs so that everybody gets an even bite, because a lot of times they don't like when they don't get an even bite, and some don't like them when they're so big they can't put the whole thing in their mouth. Between the bun and the meatball, it's kind of hard, but you need them a nice size. And then what I'll do is, as soon as I get some of these on, I'm going to stop rolling, and then I'm going to show you how I'm going to do our sauce. I have a packet, and a lot of times I'll use this when I'm not feeling like making, or if I don't have everything to make my fresh tomato spaghetti pasta sauce or spaghetti sauce. I use McCormick's, and I use thick and zesty. And then what I do with that is, you're supposed to use all tomato paste. I use 1 tomato paste and 1 can of tomato sauce, and then I just cut my water down. And so that's what I'm going to do today, but I want to show you. It's inexpensive. I mean, packets, don't get me wrong, packets are a couple bucks or a little bit less than a couple bucks, but it's still an inexpensive dish compared to most. And it's nice to get away from eating like just spaghetti and meatballs or meatloaf. I love smoked meatloaf. Oh my gosh, I am just hooked on that. But you know, I love to eat meatball subs just like I like to eat Italian subs. We like sandwiches in our family. It's the right time to have sandwiches still, because it's cold outside, but it's not that cold, and because it's a hot sandwich, I think it's okay. You know, trying to make some things different that I won't make in the dead of winter, because I get tired of eating the same old thing, you know. Okay, so I got tons of meatballs in here, and I'm going to do it. Just mix these guys up. Like I said, if they come out too big, cut them in half. That's why I say make them bigger. Then you can put 4 or 5 little pieces of meatball instead of 2, 3 big ones. But just cut them in half, and they'll be great. You can do this, and you can freeze these, which is really nice. I like things that will stay good and freeze well if we don't eat them all today. Not only that, sometimes it's cheaper to buy in a little bit bigger quantity because you get a better deal. So I do a lot of that as well. So I'm just going to wash my hands because my hands are nice and greasy here. And then we'll get started on our sauce. Oh my gosh, the meatballs smell wonderful. Okay. Yum. Smelling delicious. Oh boy, I'm just going to put these right here in the center so you could just see them. Oh my gosh. Looking, smelling delicious. Like I said, inexpensive dish, pretty much. Hamburger cost me $5.59 for 2 pounds. My packets, you know, I get them on sale. I think I got these for $1.08. $1.08, my 2 spaghetti packets. And then, you know, I'm going to use 1 can of tomato paste and 1 of tomato sauce. You know, sometimes I don't believe, because there's so much flavor all the time, like I usually use good ingredients and things like that, but you know what, these are perfectly fine. I believe these 2 packets are going to add so much beautiful flavor, and then the actual meatball itself will add a lot of beautiful flavor. So we're going to get started on our sauce. Basically, I'm going to put 2 cups of water. Now, even if you did it like this, it would still be 2 cups and 3/4 if you look at the directions on this. I want mine to be a little bit thicker because mine's a sandwich. So I'm only going to use 2 cups of water. I'm going to use 2 packets of my basic thick and zesty spaghetti sauce. You can buy a can of pasta sauce. It doesn't matter. You can use marinara. It really is what your preference is. But let me tell you, this is a good one to make spaghetti out of. It's a good one to make anything pasta based because it's got a real good flavor. Nothing's overpowering. A lot of times when I use this for our spaghetti, I go ahead and I basically add more stuff to it. Like I'll add some fresh garlic or something like that. Okay, I'm gonna turn all our meatballs because I want you to see they're getting a beautiful color. Oh, nice, smelling great. Oh my gosh, smells great, looking great. I'm gonna pull the pan a little bit closer to me because I am kind of short. I try to put it out there further for you to be able to see, but when I'm turning, I'm thinking I better put it close to me so I can handle everything. I'm vertically challenged is what I say. Okay, everything's looking good. You want a little crust on these. That's what's going to make the sandwich just have this little bite to it, which is nice. It won't be all one note, soft, mushy. I hate when there's not textures to things, you know. So look at these meatballs. They've got that beautiful coating. Gorgeous. Okay, so now I'm going to put the pan over here because we see everything is cooking nice. What I want to do is I'm going to turn my stove up just a little bit. And then I put the 2 packets in with the water. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the tomato sauce. Oh, this is good stuff. And I like this one. It smells good. But that's the one I use when I'm not making it, kind of trying to make it from scratch. With my Santo tomatoes imported from Italy, or trying to be fancy that day because I get on those kicks where I want to make everything myself and I want to do it all nice and fancy. It's so funny. I'm going to go ahead and just get all the tomato sauce off this because I'm going to whisk this in, and then I'm going to put it on the heat. And we're just going to let it, I'll reduce the heat to medium or medium-low, and then what we'll do is we'll just let it warm. That's all we have to do. So basically, I'm taking the water, the tomato paste, tomato sauce, and the 2 packets, and you can see all the beautiful herbs in there. Just go ahead and just get this all incorporated. Take your whisk. You're going to have to hit it a couple times to get the tomato paste and sauce out. Okay, this looks great. This is ready just to go onto the stovetop. Everything's incorporated. And so we're good. So like I said, now I'm going to turn it down to like a medium-low and just let it go. Okay, I'm just going to shake my meatballs. And then I'm just going to let them, I'm going to flip them one more time real fast. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with my bread. I like garlic-based bread. Gives it so much flavor. Sometimes when I'm eating things, I want to eat things with a lot of flavor. Like I said, they don't always have to be really super spicy. I like things that are just super flavorful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and make some basic garlic stadium rolls, and that's what we're going to use for our beautiful meatballs, and it's going to be great. So I basically just flip them over because I would like them to get all brown all over. So I'm going to go back here real fast while you're here with me, and I'm going to stir this. I've already done one of the buns. It's so funny, I have a couple of these pans. Threw all these pans out 15, 20 years ago going, oh God, they're so old, what do I need them for? Oh boy, I was so wrong. I really got into cooking, and these are the coolest things. You can find them anywhere too, but now they're so much more expensive than back in the day. Well, we had stadium rolls the other day, or last week. I showed them on the, okay, I'm going to move this so you guys can see. You see how the meatballs are cooking. So we did the stadium buns with our Italian sausage. I took these and I froze them. And now I'm going to use them for my meatball subs. So what I'm going to do is very easily, see, I hate to sometimes, only thing about breads that you do freeze, you have to be careful when you open them, because you want this sub sandwich to stay like this. When I'm loading that sub sandwich, it needs to be intact. I don't want nothing dripping from the other side. So one thing you have to be careful, if you don't have a good feeling when you go to do your buns, you won't be doing what I'm doing, showing somebody. So just put your buns in just like this to warm them first. If you're worried about breakage, warm them. Put them on this side for a minute. As soon as you feel it's a little bit hot, flip it over, put it on that side, and it'll open easier. Or if you're worried about it, put them in the microwave for like 15 seconds. Then they'll become soft. Just open them really soft like I did, because that's my only concern with some buns. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do like I did the other one already. Boy, I just got crazy and put a whole bunch. I'm going to take this garlic butter and I'm going to put it on my roll. And this is going to give me some extra flavor. I love garlic. And I like butter. And it's also going to toast my bun. So look it's beautiful. Have it all incorporated on my bun. And I'm just going to flip my bun like this. And then I'm going to try not to make a mess like I'm making a mess right now. Good Lord. Okay. So there's my bun. And then as soon as my meatballs are done, then I'll plug this one in and start this, the nice buns. Okay, our sauce is doing really good. It's heating. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit because I like it nice and hot. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and finish cooking the meatballs, finish heating the sauce, and start toasting the buns, and then we'll be back to assemble. Welcome back. Meatball subs are ready. So I have put some meatballs in here ahead of time just so you could see. Basically, I left those ones whole. I want to tell you another little secret. There's a lot of grease in my pan, and I'm going to move this. What I did is, normally when you make a spaghetti sauce, you put a teaspoon of butter or some salt. What I did is I took it and just took a little teaspoon out and put it in my sauce because my sauce is extra thick because I didn't use as much water. One thing good is the meatball's not just sitting there because it's a big meatball, so it's not just, being drenched. Okay, buns are done. So yum. Okay. Buns are nice and crispy. Look at that. That is absolutely beautiful. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put this down here. And you can do it two ways. You can take your beautiful meatballs and you can place them here and put the sauce on. Personally, I do it this way. It's much easier being in the kitchen. Now I'm going to show you this trick too. If you think your meatballs are too big, just make them smaller. And it depends on how big your subs are. But look at that. That looks beautiful. Everything is cooked beautifully inside. So if you like them a smaller size on your sub sandwiches, make them smaller. If you like them bigger, make them bigger. So this sub sandwich, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start right now. That's that crispy garlic. Oh, I love the garlic on there. Okay. And like I said, I'm going to use this one too. Actually, I'm just going to cut all my meatballs. I'm just going to cut them all so they're all uniform. I'm one of those, I like it one way. I don't like it two ways. So what I'm going to do is take and put these meatballs here. I'm going to show you how I layer them. A lot of my family members like them like this because then they can just take a nice bite. And then they're not pulling off all the meatballs. So they really like it like that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to put a little bit of sauce like this. And then I'll drench a little bit in here. And then I'm going to take some beautiful mozzarella cheese. And I'm going to go like this. Because I want you to be able to see what you're actually eating. And we eat our subs whole. If you want, cut them. That's plenty. There's a lot of sauce there. It looks fantastic. It's a pretty inexpensive dish as well. I thought I'd show you. I just made something to go with it because sometimes it's hard to find things to go with it. So I made a little pasta salad, and I just wanted you to see how the pasta salad looked with the meatball sub. And it'll be really nourishing. Can do potato chips, different kinds of chips. That's one time when we do eat chips at night is with our subs, because it's amazing how a sub sandwich will taste with absolutely just regular Lay's potato chips or whatever you're like or you're into. But I just made an easy macaroni salad with olive, pickles, mayonnaise, a little bit of mustard, and egg. But if you like the content, if you would please like and subscribe, I'd be most grateful. And remember, this is a really inexpensive dinner. Use the sub sandwich bread twice because we don't have enough people in our family to eat them all at one time. So remember, put in your freezer, freeze some stuff, your extra meatballs, freeze them and enjoy them for future dinners. Once again, thanks for coming in and cooking with me. Thank you.